the first question of the night. And this is coming from Chris. And Chris been saying, I've been hearing a lot about segmenting the email list and how do you go about doing it. I think I've answered this before, but Chris, for your sake, since you submitted, I would give you my take on how you can actually do segmenting. Okay. So let's say we have maybe three products. Okay. So we have product A, we've got a product B, and we've got a product C. And when people submit so-called subscribe to your list, for example, you're not sure, right? So what you want to do is, okay, there are three methods of doing this. One is you must use this method called link tracking. Okay. It is available in most of the email service provider. The concept is you assign a particular link, and this link has to be, let's say, go to a thank you page, right, on your website. And it has a specific URL, right? So you link to this, and whenever you tell your ASP, whenever somebody clicks on this link to this page, then you bucket them into whatever groups that you want. Okay. So you will have three URL page, and each one points to, let's say, A, B, and C. So that's how you can do it. The idea behind it of link tracking, that's how it works. Okay, somebody clicks on the link. If it's click on link A, it goes to group, or either you tag it with group A, group B, and group C. So what you need to do is when you run, let's say, the best one is probably your welcome sequence. So when somebody signs up to your list, you have a couple of emails, maybe three emails, right? Welcome, to talk about what you do, to welcome them to your list, for example. And in one of your emails, you probably give them three options, for them to self-select. So the most obvious one is, if you, for example, let's say if you're running a pet shop and you have obviously dog owners, cat owners, for example, and maybe some other animals. And each one of them is, let's say one is dog, one is cat, and let's say one is others or whatever it is. Then you can then say, could you tell me a bit about yourself? Which one is your favorite pet, or which are the pet that you have at home now? So it could be one dog, one cat, and then one others, for example. So when they click on this, automatically they can then be so-called categorized into different groups. And from then on, now that you know each one, their preference, your email sequence is directed specifically to their preference already. So, Chris, when you do segmenting, the reason why I've advised you to do segmenting is because you want your emails to relate specifically to your user or to your reader. Okay. So if you write, in general pet shops, and the person, some of your emails maybe it's about cats, and the guy don't have cats as a pet, then they will probably ignore it. Okay, and they don't even know whether you're going to talk about dogs or whatever it is. But in virtue of doing this, you'll be having emails that are very specific to the reader's interest. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way, the second method is each of your emails, for example, okay, you may have, let's say, one email that talks about dogs, one email that talks about cat, and one email that talk about others, for example. In this case, then it is very clear, one CTA, and then one message and one email. Okay. So whenever, let's say if I'm a cat owner, I look at something about dogs, yeah, fine, I may read your email, but I'm not going to take action because it's not my pet. But if I see the next one or the next day an email about cats, maybe some tips, right? Or maybe some health related items that the pet owners or the cat owners need to know about. And this one doesn't have to be, it could be a video, right? It could be any other thing, as long as the key thing about lead tracking is as long as there's a valid URL. So it could be somebody else's video, for example. Let's say you discover on YouTube there's a very interesting video about cats and you want to share it to your audience. So you can do that in your email and you have the link. So what you do is you then tag this link, right? Although it's not your asset, you tag this link and say, if somebody clicks on this link, send it to the cats group. So you do this over time, right? Then, because not everybody during your welcome sequence would self-identify. So you want to make sure that over time, as you send your daily emails or weekly emails and all those things, you be cognizant of the fact that you want to slowly segment them, right? So once they segment them from then on, okay, it's easier for you now to write sequences. So if I have an offer for that's related to dog owners, who do I send? I'm not going to send to all the ABC groups. I'm going to send to the dog owners group, and that's about it. So that's how you have high open rates, high click-through rates because it's relevant. Okay. The third one, the third method is you can then filter upfront. Instead of waiting for the email sequence, you can filter upfront, and you do that by having specific link magnets. Oops, what happened to my screen? Okay, wait. My app just crashed. So just give me a minute. Let me see. Work this one out. Oops, not this. Happens when you do live. Happens when you do live. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, let's see. Can I see it? There you go. Let me see. All right. We are back. Okay. Let me move this aside. Okay. Where is... There you go. So, like I say, we can filter upfront by doing link magnets. So, you may have a link magnets of 10 ways to look after your dogs, right? Or 10 ways to train your cat, for example, or maybe whatever other animals. Now, by virtue of that, if I'm a dog owner, and if I see a link magnet, you can either do it through social media posts or you can run ads. All right, it's entirely up to you. Okay. So by virtue of seeing the link magnet which is related to a specific topic, right? Then anybody who clicks on this obviously goes into the pool where dog owners are, right? If I click on, let's say, B, who go to group B and subsequently group C. So Chris, the benefit of segmenting is you now are very clear with regards to what the audience are looking for and what sort of content that you can serve to this audience. And you know that it's going to be very specific. It helps you along the way because even when you start to make offers, for example, you're talking to audience who are so-called, like Google says, in the market. Okay. Whether they buy or not, it depends on your offer, obviously. But at the very least, you know your message is related to that specific audience. So segmenting helps you this way. So these three methods allows you to segment your audience, right? It is very subtle. Writing the contents obviously will be, the art itself, how you want to write it. It may not necessarily be so obvious, but you know very well now, every time you write an email content and you want to segment them, you know these are the three groups and these are the links that you can do in order for you to categorize and send them into the appropriate groups. Okay, Chris, I hope that helps. Hi, and thanks for watching. If you need my help to set up your email marketing engine for your business, just click on the link here and you see a list of services that will help you grow your leads and sales and also increase your profits through emails. I'm looking forward to working with you soon.